of Lundy.
Welcome to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, my co-host Steven Johnson, and we're glad to have you back. We're going to talk about this. In this segment. We're going to talk about upcoming fights for this weekend, and of course, you know we have a couple of good ones. We got Thurman fighting, and we got Hammer and Hank Lundy trying to keep his career intact. So we're going to talk a little bit about them fights. So this weekend, let me tell you, after this past 4th of July weekend, which was kind of slow, we're going to resume into some, could be decent fights.
Well, before we get into that, non-boxing related, but we have to congratulate our USA women's soccer team that defeated Japan 5-2 for the World Cup title. I know for you people that don't care about soccer, you still care about USA. And these girls worked hard on this. This was a definite revenge match, you know, for them to get back the title that they lost, actually, last time that they played Japan. And I know the whole country was excited about it. In Denver here, it was off the chain, though.
Oh, I'll tell you
People were everywhere just screaming and hollering. Good win for the USA women's soccer.
Very good win. Good. Congratulations to the women's team. And I'll tell you what, they went out there. They have one thing. They were on a mission.
They jumped on them quick.
They were on a mission, and they didn't stop.
No,
you put that foot on that neck, and you don't let up. You just kind of keep grinding, you know. So good. Congratulations. Very good win.
Speaking of foot on neck, okay, that's what's going to happen when Keith Thurman takes on Luis Collazo. Luis Collazo, he's going to have to put his foot on Keith Thurman's neck. You know, making back up some of this talk. Thurman's been doing a lot of talking lately, basically saying that he's the man right now. You know, he says as soon as Floyd stepped down, he's the man. Luis Collazo, you know, well, he's been in with some top boxers over his career. Yeah. I don't know if he has enough left to put any kind of pressure that he needs to on Keith Thurman. We do know one thing about Keith Thurman. He's very talented, but Robert the Gross Guerrero showed you what his chink in his armor is. You just have to keep pressing. Well, we'll see if Collazo can do that.
I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a good fight, and the reason I'm saying is all eyes are basically going to be on Thurman. Now, if you remember in a previous show, you know, we had mentioned Keith Thurman as our contender prospect, next superstar coming up, you know, and I think he's got what it takes to do that. But I also think that once a person starts to mouth off and starts talking, whether it's, and right now I'm thinking it's probably more hype, more publicity, more you know, because you know he's trying to get out there, he's trying to get the big money fights, and we'll talk about that in another.
Well, you
segment.
said self-motivation, his own.
And self-motivation, but see, sometimes that can hurt you, because what happens is when you start talking, you know, it's like a lie. When you keep repeating a lie, you start to believe it actually happened. You know, well, I was at the MGM and I saw this fight. You know, you keep repeating that, and even though you never were, well, before you know it, you repeat it so much you start to believe it. You know, so what I'm thinking is Thurman has to be careful to remember that this is hype. This is to get out his name, to get people to know him, to get fans behind him. But if he starts to believe that stuff, then you start to believe you're invincible. And then what happens when you get into the ring with someone that comes to win, and someone that doesn't care about you, then you fall into trouble. Okay, so I think that's just a little cautious. Now I don't know whether he's being cued onto what to say, or if he's just doing it, or if he's believing it. But we'll find out. I mean, obviously we'll find out. This Collazo is going to be a good test. We're going to see how he comes in here. He should be able to go in and manhandle a Collazo. Okay, if he doesn't, Collazo takes him the distance, shows some kinks, then we actually know that he needs to back his roll down. He needs to back it up and stay focused on what he does, and not so much mouth off, but take big care of business in the ring. You see what I mean? So that to me is going to be interesting. I'll be watching the fight specifically for that, because personally I don't think Collazo has what it takes to beat Keith Thurman. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I just want to see how Thurman is going to react, because I mean he's asking for some pretty big fights.
Well, I think there's no question. I think all your points are valid, but I just think that you have to remember that Luis Collazo has been in with Ricky Hatton, Victor Ortiz, Andre Berto. So I don't think the star status that right now that the Keith Thurman folks, put on him is going to affect Collazo at all. It's good for Keith Thurman that this fight's going to be down in Florida, and just a few miles away from his hometown, so he'll have a lot of his supporters there, and he's going to plan on putting on a show. But at the same time, we saw someone a few weeks ago in Alabama who was in front of his hometown people, wanted to put on a good show, and we saw how that went.
That's the key.
And that was with the Browns bomber, Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
So we'll have to see how this comes out. I agree with you. I don't think that Lewis has, what it takes now. But like I said, he's not affected by the star status. He's determined. He says this fight he's coming in, he's in great shape, so there's no excuses. So I expect this to be a better fight than most people would think. I think that most people think that this is pretty much a setup, easy fight for Keith Thurman just to show off what he's got.
Yep.
And like you said, he's been running his mouth an awful lot. And for all of us that really like him, we started liking him the way Paulie Malignaggi just took him apart in a verbal war.
Yep.
And we said, hey, we kind of like Keith Thurman because he does show, but now he's taking on the role of a Malignaggi. So these guys that truly believe that, the grease, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, good for them, but you have to remember that as soon as you go down, okay, or people determine that they're chinky in your armor, they slide off your bandwagon, similar to Danny Garcia. One other thing I want you to watch on this fight card, you know who's on this fight card, Lil? We didn't talk about it at all, but Antonio Tarver's on this fight card.
Oh, really?
Yes. He's fighting a bum, but I think Antonio Tarver's kind of a bum. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, Antonio Tarver, he's the mouth. He's got a good mouth on him, and he can talk. And his whole claim to fame was, of course, knocking out Roy Jones. But I think I just read something where he actually says that where Tarver says, if I can knock out Roy Jones Jr., I
can knock out Klitschko.
I can beat Klitschko. Okay, now get real. Okay, get real.
Well, let me tell you this first. I want to interrupt you on this.
30 seconds.
Just so you know that this fight is a 4-rounder. Okay, so yeah, it's only 4 rounds against a guy named Julian Valeria, who I have no knowledge anything about him. So he's a bum, obviously. But a 4-rounder. For Antonio Tarver,
4-rounder.
4 rounds.
That's kind of a slap in the face, isn't it?
Well, it lets us know that he figures that he's got a long way to go. I can't believe that for a guy that's talking and doing all the talking.
A 4-rounder.
Yeah, 4 rounds. And so for all the talking that he's doing, and to come up and see this happen.
I didn't know that, and I'm kind of.
That's shocking, isn't it?
It's shocking, and I'll tell you what, I'm actually to a point where I'm on the verge of losing respect for Antonio Tarver. You don't take a 4-round. 4-rounder is for debuters, for people that are just starting to get their feet wet in the pro status and along the pros. You don't be a former champion and come back and do a 4-round. Can you imagine Oscar De La Hoya coming back and accepting the fight with Mayweather and they make it a 4-rounder?
I'm not saying anything. I'm letting you take it. You're doing a great job on this one.
It's almost embarrassing, and my goodness, I have to take a line from James Toney, man. I don't know what Bubblegum's doing, man.
Well, let me just. I just want to lead you down the path. This is Antonio Tarver Jr. Okay, I just want to let you know it's Antonio Tarver Jr. So.
Okay. So you had me going, man.
Yes, I did.
You had me going, man. I said because that was unheard of. I was shocked.
Now let me tell you,
I was shocked. I was shocked.
Through that boy, is because the first time I saw that, I was just like, "You what? What 4 rounds?" And I said, "Oh, he's lost his damn mind." No, it's Antonio Tarver Jr. So,
okay, good.
It'll just be interesting to see. He's doing it down on the.
Well, that's the way it should be. Oh, you come in, the debut, you just starting your pro career. That's what 4-rounders are for. You don't come back. Well, you had me going. I
had to get that win in on that, right?
But I actually thought there was some truth to it because he's been asking to come back and get a fight and all that. So he's kind of been mouthing off in the media, trying begging like everyone else for the big money fight. So,
well, once again, Luis Collazo. He fought Amir Khan.
Yeah.
He fought Shane Mosley. I can think of, like I said, Andre Berto and Victor Ortiz. I don't think I'm not going to go where you want me to go. I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to say that if Keith Thurman has an off night in this fight, it could be very interesting.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And you don't think so?
I think Keith is right now getting into the peak of his career, in the peak of his game.
Okay.
off nights I think aren't in the immediate future for Thurman.
I wouldn't disagree with that, but let me ask you this: do you see Thurman winning this fight? But do you see him stopping Collazo?
He should. I mean, even though as durable as Collazo is, and the experience he's got background, when you get someone like Thurman that has the talent, has the power, and is going to come at you, I don't think he's going to be able to handle that, and I don't think Collazo has the defensive skills to not get hit by Thurman. And I think Thurman, once he hurts you, he knows how to finish the job.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear, because I feel the same way. Keith Thurman's been doing a lot of talking. It's time to back it up. If he can't stop Luis Collazo, I mean, I don't care if it's late rounds, mid rounds. If he can't stop him, I'll say there's a chink in his armor, and I'll think that I'll have to go back and say that Robert Guerrero exposed what the chink in his armor is, and that's it. Like I said, if you can pressure him, just keep pressure. You can wear him down. You got a chance at the end to take him out of there. But he's not an easy out. Don't get me wrong at all. Yeah. But there we go.
Okay, well, good. That concludes this segment. We'll be right back when we're going to talk to you about our open hot topics.
Well, before we do that, when we come back, we're going to talk about Mauricio Herrera and Hank Lundy, because I know how big fan you are of Hammer and Hank Lundy. So we'll just touch on that at the first part of the second segment.
Oh, we'll touch off on that on the next segment. I mean, that just kind of Hammer and Hank and Mauricio Herrera. Wow. Okay, but anyhow, guys, we'll be back and we'll continue with that, and we'll get into some hot topics. We'll get into some real good subjects that are coming around in boxing. We're going to talk about Al Heyman. We're going to talk about Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, Floyd Mayweather. So stay tuned and watch the next segment. Until then, keep them hands up.
Keep them up.